Welcome back to the channel, guys, or for this one maybe I should be saying welcome back to Middle Earth. So yeah, another budget build project. We're going to be building, I started off with the Merlin concept, but it's actually Gandalf, Merlin, Gandalf, same thing really, interchangeable. So we're making a 1 meter garden ornament like a wizard. Again, we're using the basics. So today in this episode, number 1, we're going to be starting off with the bones of the process, which is kind of like, you know, the base with this big plastic bottle here. We've got a bit of aluminium tubing. As usual, guys, it's all stuff left over in the garden. So first I'm just going to cut the top off this bottle. We're going to do about 3 or 4 different episodes, maybe 10-15 minutes each, see how we go. Again, budget project, whatever materials we've got. Don't know if you probably know or not, I've got a biggish garden to kind of make look good, to be honest, and I want to do oversized ornaments, dramatic things. I've done logs in the past, we've got some monks, got a ruined castle. So this time, as I say, I started off with the Merlin concept, but it's Gandalf. So welcome to Middle Earth. So basics, start off with a sloppy consistency of cement. So as with anything, the core of the project is the most important bit. You need a nice strong base to work from. You don't need falling over. Got to get the centre of gravity right. So a sloppy cement here, nothing too thick. Pour it in there. Put any old junk, any old bits of cement, old stones in there. So obviously you don't want the whole ornament to be too heavy, but you need the base to be strong and tough. So basically I had some old aluminium tubing in the garden. I'd used it for someone else because it had some old cement on there, but perfect base for the project. As I say, I'm aiming for like a metre tall. Proportions are important with this one. So we've got to let that set, basically, make it nice and secure. Doesn't have to be, you know, millimetre perfect, but you want it to stand straight. You don't want a drunk looking Gandalf. So yeah, just leave that to set. Come back to that. For you guys it's a second, for me probably a day. Here we go. You can see the height there. As if by magic. So we've got the grinder out now. Bit tall, so I'm just putting it down. Use your eye, you know, you don't have to measure it. You don't want him too tall and too slim, or like I did in the past. I made a monk and I made his shoulders too broad and he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. So yeah, just try and get the proportions right, otherwise it's going to look silly. Back to my favourite plastic pipe. Hammer that into the top there. I like using this because it joins together, but if you haven't got this, you can use broom handles, bits of wood, let's say aluminium pipe it, whatever you've got, whatever's cheap. If you haven't got stuff lying around, go for the cheapest option. If you've seen me before, you know that I like to keep things real, keep it as cheap as possible. Everything you see in the video is real, there's no AI, it's warts and all, mistakes, dirt. So yeah, this is like the shoulder and the neck, really. I can't get a cross thing here, so I'm having to make my own. So cut it in half, stick it on the top there. Try and use screws if you can. It looks really tall from here, but I think this is just an illusion. So drill it in there. But as with all of these projects, you don't have to follow this religiously, it's up to you. But be patient. You know, things like the setting of the cement. Don't try and do things in a day. Pour your cement in the base, leave it till the next day. Patience is a virtue, as they say. And I enjoy doing these oversized things. If you've got kids or grandkids, they'll love them. Make them fun. And as I always say, guys, don't get too hung up on the details because it's a garden ornament, not a work of art. It's going to get hit by the hose pipe. It's going to be exposed to the elements. So, you know, be realistic. You want it detailed, but not crazy detailed. It's got to take a bit of hammer. And likewise, when you're working with cement, it depends on your location. I live in a hot country, so I don't have frost to worry about, so I don't have to put any plasticizer in there. But if you live in a country with frost, either think about that before you start making it, or keep it out of the elements. But bear in mind, these are quite heavy, these ornaments. That last castle I made nearly killed me carrying that. It was heavy. This one hopefully not so heavy. So you can see we've got the joints bolting in there. So this, we've got the neck there. This is like the shoulders. I like this pipe because it's just like putting things together like Lego or Meccano. It's easy. So that ring there, that's going to be to hold his staff. Again, we're not doing hands because, you know, number one, I'm not an artist, and number two, it's just too much. You know, you got to keep it practical. Going outside in the elements, probably going to get plants and flowers growing around it anyway. So drill holes to secure it. So what I'm doing here, so this is what I call the bones of the project. We've got like the spine, the shoulders, the arms there, but now you've got to give him the body. So what I use here is wire, as you'll see in a minute, just strands of wire, just to make the shape of the body really. Any old cheap wire, as I say, you can use chicken wire, but I think for this one wire is better because it's more pliable, more flexible, and this stuff's cheap. Going to need local DIY, so it doesn't have to be particularly a thick gauge of wire, just thin, keep it movable. So you're just making a frame. Doesn't have to be exact. Just keep in your mind, you know, he's Gandalf, he's Merlin, he's going to be wearing that kind of smock arrangement, so it will flare out at the bottom. But just get these proportions right. As I say, don't make the shoulders too wide because there is a tendency to do that, and he will look like the Hulk if you do that. Just stand in the mirror and look, you know, look at your own anatomy. You know, it's get it in proportion. It doesn't have to be exact, as I say, but you want it to look kind of realistic. Just keeping in mind, someone like Gandalf or Merlin, they're kind of older guys. They're relatively tall but quite slim in build, but they've got baggy clothes. Just keep that in your mind as you're putting it together and play with it. If it doesn't work, change it. As I say, you will make mistakes. We're not AI, we make mistakes, everything's perfect. In fact, I make lots of mistakes, but there you go. At the end of the day, you know, as I say, I'm not an artist, you might not be, you might well be, but you know, go to your strengths, you know your limitations. You know, I'm doing like details of hands and things, that's way beyond me, so I just keep it simple. And as I say, it is a garden ornament, and it's to fill a space in the garden. So this is quite, I don't know, just put some music on, get yourself a glass of beer or a glass of wine, cup of tea, whatever. Just enjoy the process, because some of it is a bit laborious. You know, drilling holes and threading wire. It's not the most fun job in the world, but it's a sunny day outside, as you can see. I'm under the shade of the palm tree here, so yeah, just have fun, play with it. I tend to do like an hour at a time with my projects, and then I walk, whether something needs drying or I need other jobs to do, just walk away, come back. You start to see, you know, you got to trust the process. It might look weird at the moment, but trust me. You know. Now I use these, the old favourite, the old egg cartons. This is what I pack the middle out with to give it some form. Just pack them in. Don't be too tidy. Like I say, we're just trying to get the basic shape. You're not after a perfect shape. It's something to work from, basically. And that's why I call this episode The Bones, because it's the base of the product, the spine, shoulders, arms, body. Don't forget there's no legs, because he's got his smock and it will flow into like he'll be standing on like a log. You can see getting his shape there. These egg cartons are great because of course they're free, you've got them in the house, or if you haven't got this you can use old bits of cloth. I'm wrapping a bit of packaging tape out just to hold it all in place. And that's going to be about it for this episode, guys. Just stick these arms on, and I'm going to try and do an episode a week, so see how we go. Like I say, it's a long process, but it's fun. Enjoy it. Okay guys, so this is the start, the bones of Gandalf or Merlin. This is the bones of the project. It's nice and secure. You've got a good base to work from. And we'll see you again next week and see where we're going to go.